Have you ever felt like your life suddenly got quiet? So quiet it almost scared you, like everything slowed down. The momentum stopped, and nothing made sense anymore. You keep showing up, doing what you can, but nothing seems to be moving. It's like the world went still, and you're stuck in a season where all you hear is silence. No answers, no direction, just waiting. And in that silence, the questions start to echo. Did I miss my moment? Am I doing something wrong? Has God forgotten me? But what if the silence isn't a sign of being abandoned, but a sign of preparation? Sometimes the quietest seasons are the most sacred. They feel empty, but they're full of purpose. They feel slow, but they're setting the pace for something big. It's easy to panic when life stops making noise. We're so used to movement equaling progress that stillness feels like failure. But this silence, this pause you're in, it could be the moment before everything changes. Just like the earth stands still before a storm breaks open the sky. Just like the world is calm before the sun rises. This silence isn't random. It's intentional. It's divine. It's the space God uses to realign your soul. You see, when life gets quiet, it's often because you're being repositioned. Not punished, positioned. You're being pulled out of what's familiar so you can grow into what's greater. Sometimes God has to separate you from noise so you can finally hear His voice. That still small whisper that says, "I'm not done with you." The silence may feel like a void, but it's really a vessel. It's where God prepares your spirit for the next level. Because what's coming requires more of you, more clarity, more strength, more focus, and He's building all of that in the quiet. This is not the end. This is not the part where you give up. This is the part where you look within and realize that transformation doesn't need an audience. Growth doesn't require applause. Your next chapter is being written behind the scenes, and if you can learn to trust the silence, you'll see the shift. You'll understand that nothing is wasted, not even the still moments. Especially not the still moments. Espay are the training ground. The waiting room before destiny opens its doors. So if you're in a season of silence right now, don't run from it. Don't fill it with noise. Lean in, listen, pay attention. The quiet is not empty. It's full of answers, full of instructions, full of purpose. Something great is being prepared for you, and the silence is the sign. If you can hold on through this stillness, something powerful is waiting on the other side. Stay with this. Stay open. Because by the end of this message, you'll know you're not stuck. You're being set up. You're being set up. And when it breaks, it's going to be bigger than you imagined. Sometimes what hurts the most is what saves you. That rejection that shattered your plans. It wasn't the end of your dream. It was the protection of your purpose. Oh, when a door slams shut, the noise can feel deafening. There are no echoes. The disappointment lingers. You question everything. Why didn't it work? Why them and not me? What more could I have done? But the truth, you didn't fail. You were redirected, because what you thought was for you would have broken. And when God is preparing something great, He never lets you settle for something small. So when something doesn't happen the way you hoped, it's not rejection, it's redirection. And that's grace. The doors you begged to open, the people you tried to hold on to, the opportunities you thought would change your life. If they were taken from you, it's because they were never strong enough to carry the weight of your calling. Let that sink in. You were asking for something temporary, and God was planning something eternal. You were ready for comfort, but He was preparing you for greatness. Closed doors are painful, yes, but they're also precise. They protect you from detours, distractions, and destruction. What feels like loss is often the beginning of alignment, a hidden blessing wrapped in heartbreak. It's easy to believe in purpose when everything is going your way. But real faith is born when nothing makes sense, and you still choose to trust that it's all working for something greater. This is the test that refines you. This is the breaking that builds you. Every time you're told a no, every time something is removed from your life, remember, God does not subtract unless He plans to multiply. You're not being left out. You're being set apart. And the doors that shut on you weren't locked to keep you out. They were locked to keep you safe. When you start seeing closed doors not as punishment, but as divine strategy, your whole mindset shifts. You stop chasing validation. You stop forcing outcomes. You start resting in the knowing that what is meant for you will not miss you. You won't have to manipulate, beg for it, or break yourself to get it. It will come because it's yours, and the closed doors, And the closed doors are just the proof that God is involved. Because if you let everything in, you'd lose yourself before you reached your destiny. But He's too intentional for that, too loving, too precise. So if you're staring at a closed door right now, let it close. Don't look back. Don't question it. Don't try to force it open. Trust that what's not opening is not needed, and what is meant to open will swing wide without effort, without stress, and without delay. The right doors don't need to be kicked down. They open when you're ready. Keep moving forward, because what's ahead of you isn't just better. It's protected. It's protected. It's purposed, and it's waiting for you to walk in, free of everything that could have destroyed you. When you feel like you don't belong anymore, that's not rejection, it's elevation. The places that once felt like home now feel foreign. The conversations that used to excite you now feel shallow. You look around and realize you've outgrown environments, mindsets, and even people. That uncomfortable tension inside of you. It's not confusion, it's clarity. You are not who you used to be, and deep down you know it. This isn't a breakdown, this is a breakthrough. Isolation is one of the clearest signs that something powerful is being birthed inside you. Because when God begins to prepare you for more, He first pulls you away from what's less. It's in the solitude that you start to hear what you couldn't hear before. The noise fades. The distractions fall away. And suddenly your soul begins to whisper louder than the world ever could. You start to realize what matters. You begin to recognize who you really are without the crowd, without the pressure, without the masks. Isolation strips away the superficial so the truth can surface. You become more aware, more grounded, more aligned. You begin to crave authenticity. You don't want noise, you want meaning. You don't want attention, you want direction. This is the refinement process. This is sacred. This is necessary. Yes, it's lonely. Yes, it's uncomfortable. But you weren't created to blend in. You were set apart to rise. And rising requires separation. When you feel yourself drifting from the familiar, it's not a sign to panic. It's a sign to pay attention. Your spirit is evolving. Your calling is maturing. And God is isolating you not to punish you, but to protect the transformation. Not everyone can go where you're headed. Not everything can follow you into what's next. The higher the calling, the narrower the path. Isolation becomes preparation, and that preparation births strength. Don't despise this quiet space. Don't rush out of it. There's treasure hidden in the stillness, growth hidden in the silence, power hidden in the solitude. This is where resilience is born. This is where vision sharpens. You'll discover parts of yourself you never knew existed. You'll find clarity about decisions, direction, and identity. And most of all, you'll find the voice of God speaking directly to your heart, with no interference, no filter, no noise, just truth, just love, just purpose. So if you're walking alone right now, you're not being forgotten. You're being focused. You're being healed. You're being elevated. Let this season do its work in you. Let the silence shape your strength. Because when the time comes for you to step back into the world, you won't return the same. You'll come back with vision, with conviction, with unshakable purpose. And the ones who once overlooked you won't even recognize you. Because the version of you that's rising in the isolation is stronger, wiser, and ready. Keep going. Stay faithful in the unseen. Something powerful is growing in the quiet. There's a tension inside you that you can't explain. A stirring, a restlessness. You're trying to go through the motions, but your heart is no longer in the same place. What used to fulfill you now feels empty. What once brought comfort now feels too small. You try to ignore it, but it doesn't go away. That uneasy feeling is not something to fear. It's something to follow. That's how God speaks when He's about to shift your life. Not through chaos, but through discomfort. Not through loud declarations, but through a quiet inner pull that won't let you settle anymore. You weren't created to stay the same. Growth demands discomfort. The life you're praying for won't come while you're clinging to comfort zones. And right now, something inside you knows that where you are is not where you're supposed to stay. That spiritual agitation is a holy signal. It means you're being called to more. Not because what you've done so far isn't valuable, but because what's ahead requires a deeper version of you. You're not breaking down. You're breaking through. Your soul is being stretched. Your faith is being challenged. And your spirit is being prepared to rise. This internal shift may not make sense to those around you. They might tell you to relax, to be content, to stop overthinking. But this isn't worry. It's awakening. It's that divine tension that refuses to let you stay stuck. Something bigger is pressing on your heart, and it's not going to leave until you respond. You were never meant to shrink to fit into the spaces you've outgrown. And now that your soul is aware, staying small will only create more discomfort. Growth doesn't wait for the perfect time. It begins when you decide to move despite not having all the answers. When God is preparing something great, He doesn't always give clarity. He gives conviction. You may not see the full picture, but you feel the pull. That's your sign. That's the indicator. And while your mind may crave certainty, your spirit already knows the truth. That restless feeling is an invitation to trust deeper, to walk bolder, to surrender more fully. You're not being pushed into confusion. You're being pulled into purpose. The unfamiliar ground ahead of you is not meant to scare you. It's meant to stretch you. Because what's on the other side of obedience is always greater than what fear convinces you to settle for. So stop trying to silence the stirring. It's not weakness. It's not weakness. It's not instability. It's divine disruption. Let it move you. Let it shake you. Let it remind you that you are being prepared for something you've never seen before. You won't find peace trying to fit back into places your spirit has outgrown. You'll only find peace when you follow the pull. Because the restlessness in your soul isn't confusion, it's direction. And if you listen closely, you'll hear the truth. This is your moment to rise. Pressure is not a sign you're failing, it's a sign you're forming. When life feels heavier than ever, when the weight seems unfair, when your strength is stretched to its limit, don't assume you're being crushed. You're being carved. You're being refined. Because greatness isn't built in easy seasons, it's forged in the fire. You can't grow into who you were born to be without pressure. It awakens what comfort hides. It exposes what's been dormant. And though it feels like life is pressing you from every side, this pressure has purpose. It's not here to destroy you. It's here to develop you. It's here to develop you. Everything that's strong had to endure something first. Diamonds are made in the dark. Steel is shaped under heat. Mountains rise through pressure under the surface. And just like them, your current season is not random. It's intentional. The emotional weight, the delays, the unanswered prayers, they are not signs of abandonment. They are signs of preparation. You're being prepared for more than you asked for, which means you must be stretched beyond what you're used to. Pressure reveals potential. It squeezes out the doubt, the fear, the pride, the old patterns that can't go with you into what's next. Right now, you may feel like it's all too much. That's because you're being stretched into a new capacity. It's not supposed to feel easy. You are breaking old limits. You are being taught to endure, and in the middle of the pressure, something powerful is happening. You're learning to trust beyond what you see. When you can't rely on your plans, your timeline, or your strength, you're forced to dig deeper, to find a new level of faith, a new level of resilience, a new level of resilience, a new level of you. This is the moment where many give up, right when the pressure reaches its peak. But if you hold on here, if you refuse to quit while it's heavy, you'll emerge stronger than ever. Don't misinterpret this struggle. It's not the end, it's the process. You are being molded into the person who can handle the blessing you've been praying for. It takes pressure to carry purpose. It takes endurance to walk in destiny. The calling on your life isn't small, so the process can't be light. What you're facing right now is not a sign to retreat. It's a call to rise, to lean in, to trust that what's breaking you down is also building you up. Growth never feels gentle, but it always brings strength. Stay in the fire, stay under the pressure, because when it lifts, you won't just be standing, you'll be transformed. Not just stronger, but wiser. Not just ready, but unstoppable. And when you look back, you'll realize the pressure didn't break you. It revealed you, the real you, the one who was made for more. Keep going. You're almost there. There will come a moment when things begin to move without your effort. Doors open that you didn't knock on. Favor finds you in places you didn't expect. People show up to support you, and opportunities appear without warning. This is not random. This is not luck. This is alignment. This is alignment. When you've endured the silence, the rejection, the isolation, the pressure, what comes next is divine acceleration. It's not because you forced it. It's because you were faithful. You stayed the course. You didn't quit. And now, what you are becoming in the dark is being revealed in the light. When God begins to move, it won't look like striving. It will look like grace. Things will happen so fast it will feel almost surreal. That's because preparation always precedes promotion. You weren't just waiting, you were being built. And now the shift begins, not because you chased it, because you're ready for it. This is what happens when your internal foundation finally matches your external opportunity. When your character can carry the weight of the calling. The doors don't open because you demanded them to. They open because they're drawn to who you've become. There will be moments when people will wonder how you got there, how everything seemed to change so quickly. But you'll know the truth. You'll know the battles you fought in silence, the nights you almost gave up, the decisions you made when no one was watching. This moment is not a result of chance, only the result of chance. No, it's the result of obedience, of trusting in seasons that made no sense, of believing that something greater was being written even when you couldn't see the page. This is the reward of surrender. You won't have to explain yourself. You won't need to prove your worth. What's for you will recognize you. It will respond to you. Because divine favor doesn't need human permission. When the time is right, what's yours will find you. It will come with clarity. It will come with peace. It will come without you having to compromise your integrity to receive. This is the flow of grace. When effort meets timing and obedience meets destiny, you won't feel exhausted trying to keep it. You'll feel equipped because it was designed for you. Stay humble in the acceleration. Stay grounded in the increase. Because what comes easy now came from what cost you everything before. Let that remind you never to measure your worth by what you receive, but by who you became to receive it. Let it remind you that favor doesn't follow perfection. It follows alignment, and you're stepping into alignment now, into rhythm, into flow. This is your confirmation. You didn't miss it. You didn't ruin it. You're right on time. Keep your heart open. Keep your spirit expectant. Because what's showing up now isn't a surprise. It's the evidence that God's been preparing something great for you all along. When your spirit starts craving more, pay attention. When the things that once satisfied you now feel empty, it's not because you're ungrateful, it's because you're evolving. You've tasted what comfort can give, but now you're being called to what purpose demands. You feel it deep inside, a longing to live with intention, to break free from shallow routines, to step fully into the life you were designed to live. This hunger isn't random. It's a divine awakening. It's the signal that your time has come. You're no longer willing to pretend that surface-level living is enough because you know deep down you were made for more. This is the moment where your desire shifts from success to significance, from chasing approval to chasing alignment. You begin to care less about how things look and more about how they feel. You want peace. You want meaning. You want truth. That desire is not weakness. It's wisdom. It's a sign that your identity is maturing, that you are no longer satisfied with the temporary highs that fade when the noise settles. You want what's real. You want what's lasting. And this desire for depth is God's way of pulling you into destiny. You'll start noticing how the things that once entertained you now irritate your spirit. The conversations that once kept you comfortable now feel like distractions. You're shedding old layers, not because you're better than anyone else, but because your spirit is rising to a new level. This is spiritual growth. It's not always loud, it's not always obvious, but it's powerful. And once it begins, there's no going back. Your heart will refuse to settle. Your mind will crave clarity. Your soul will demand authenticity. And suddenly, anything that doesn't align with your purpose will feel too heavy to carry. This is where you become dangerous to the enemy, because a person who wakes up to their calling becomes unstoppable. You're not searching anymore. You're stepping into what you already carry. You're not chasing outside approval. You're moving from an inner conviction. That hunger you feel is holy. Don't ignore it. Don't suppress it. Let it drive you. Let it reshape your goals. Let it reorder your priorities. Because that hunger is not here to frustrate you. It's here to fuel you. It's the inner fire that will carry you through the next season with courage and clarity. Don't be afraid to outgrow the old version of yourself. That version got you here, but it can't take you further. The discomfort you feel is the stretching of a soul ready to rise. So lean into the hunger. Let it lead you to the places you were always meant to reach. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just need to say yes. Yes to the pull. Yes to the growth. Yes to the unfamiliar path that feels more like home than anything else. Because when your hunger aligns with heaven, nothing can stop what's meant for you. There's a certain kind of peace that doesn't make sense to the mind, but feels like home to the soul. You felt it in moments when everything around you was falling apart. Yet deep within, something stayed calm. That wasn't denial. That wasn't apathy. That was alignment. A peace that surpasses understanding. A quiet assurance that somehow, some way, you're still being held. you're still being guided, that no matter what breaks on the outside, something stronger is being built on the inside. This is the kind of peace that only shows up when you stop trying to control the outcome and start trusting the process. You weren't created to carry the weight of the world. You were created to walk in surrender. And when you let go of the illusion that you must have every answer, the weight lifts. You breathe deeper. You stop striving and start listening. That's when peace begins to flow, not because life is perfect, but because you've chosen to be grounded in something greater than the chaos. Peace doesn't always change the storm, but it changes you in the middle of it. It gives you the power to stand still, to think clearly, to stay faithful when fear tries to rise. The most powerful kind of strength isn't loud. It's quiet. It's found in the one who doesn't panic under pressure, the one who doesn't have to shout to feel secure, the one who knows that being anchored in peace is more valuable than being surrounded by applause. This peace is a sign, a confirmation that you're not walking alone, that you're on the right path even when the road is dark. When everything around you is shaking, but your spirit stands firm, that's not personality. That's preparation. You are learning how to live from within, no longer reacting to everything outside of you, no longer letting fear decide your next move. You're becoming steady, focused, rooted. Because you've discovered that real transformation happens when you stop chasing noise and start choosing stillness. When you stop allowing circumstances to define your stability. This is a new level, a deeper walk. A more powerful version of you is emerging, one that isn't moved by every wave, because you finally learned where your anchor is. So if you're in the middle of uncertainty and yet you feel calm, don't question it. Embrace it. That peace is not a fluke. It's a gift. It's a reflection of everything you've endured and everything you've learned. It's evidence that your spirit is no longer controlled by fear, that you are being strengthened in ways the world can't see. And what that peace is telling you now is simple but powerful. Stay the course. Stay the course. You're not losing your way. You're finding your center. And when peace becomes your foundation, no storm can move what's meant for you. Hold it. Trust it. Let it lead you forward. There is a moment in your growth when the noise around you begins to lose its power. Opinions start to fade. The fear of judgment weakens. The need for validation quiets down. It's not that the voices stopped. It's that you no longer give them control. You begin to realize that you were never meant to be shaped by the expectations of others. You were created to follow the voice within, the quiet direction of your purpose, the inner knowing that doesn't always make sense but always feels right. And in that moment, you begin to stand taller, not in pride but in clarity. Clarity brings confidence, not the kind that shouts to be seen, but the kind that walks forward with peace. You no longer need to explain your journey to everyone. You're not here to convince anyone of your worth. That part of your life is over, because when you're aligned with your assignment, your energy changes. You become more focused. You stop wasting time trying to be understood by those who were never assigned to understand you. You realize that not everyone will see what you carry, and that's okay. What matters is that you see it. What matters is that you protect it. There's a boldness that rises when you finally decide to honor your calling more than your comfort, when you stop waiting for permission to become who you were created to be. That decision may cost you familiarity. It may cost you approval. But what it gives you in return is freedom. Real freedom. Real freedom. The kind that allows you to move forward even when the path is uncertain. The kind that lets you take risks without fear of failure. Because when your identity is rooted in purpose, failure doesn't define you. It refines you. This is the power of alignment. It silences the noise. It clears the confusion. It brings peace in chaos, direction in doubt, strength in weakness. You begin to recognize what deserves your energy and what doesn't. You stop chasing distractions that once looked like opportunities. You no longer feel the need to say yes to everything and everyone. Your focus sharpens. Your time becomes sacred. Your boundaries become strong. Because now you understand that you are not just living, you are building. Every step, every choice, every moment is shaping the life you were born to live. So let the noise fade. Let the voices lose their grip. You are not here to live small, safe, or silent. You are here to rise. You are here to become everything you were designed to be. And that requires courage. It requires clarity. It requires conviction. But most of all, it requires letting go of who the world told you to be, so you can fully step into who God created you to become. Stay grounded in truth. Stay anchored in peace. Stay loyal to your purpose. Because when you walk in alignment, nothing outside of you can shake what's been placed within you. Your greatest breakthrough is often waiting just beyond your deepest fear. That fear that keeps you stuck, silent, and second-guessing. Fear whispers that you're not enough, that you'll fail, that the risk is too high. But what if you realized fear is not the enemy? What if fear is simply a signal that you're on the edge of growth? Every time you feel afraid, you are standing at the threshold of transformation. The question is not whether you will feel fear, but whether you will step forward anyway. When you decide to move through fear instead of running from it, something powerful happens. You reclaim your power. You rewrite the story that fear has been telling you for too long. That story where you are small, powerless, and trapped. In its place, you write a new story, one where you are brave, capable, and destined for greatness. Fear doesn't disappear overnight. It doesn't vanish because you ignore it. Fear loses its grip when you face it head-on with faith and determination. It becomes fuel, not a barrier. There is freedom on the other side of fear. Not freedom from struggle, but freedom to rise above it. When you stop letting fear dictate your choices, you unlock a strength that you didn't know existed inside you. The courage to speak your truth. The boldness to pursue your dreams without apology. The resilience to keep going when the world says, stop. That courage is contagious. It changes the way you see yourself and the way the world sees you. Suddenly, your fears become the very things that propel you forward. Don't let fear silence your voice or limit your potential. You were created to thrive, not just survive. To conquer, not just endure. Survive. To conquer, not just endure. The discomfort of fear is temporary, but the growth it unlocks is permanent. Each time you lean into it, you build muscle, emotional, spiritual, and mental muscle that prepares you for what's next. What's next is bigger than what's behind you. It requires you to step beyond old limits, break old patterns, and believe in possibilities you once thought impossible. Remember, courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision that something else is more important. More important than your comfort zone. More important than the opinions of others. More important than the doubts in your own mind. What is more important is your purpose, your calling. The legacy you were born to leave. When you anchor yourself in that truth, fear loses its authority. You begin to walk in freedom. You begin to live in the fullness of who you were made to be. This moment is yours to claim. Don't let fear keep you waiting. Don't let fear keep you waiting. Don't let it keep you stuck. Step forward, even if your hands are shaking. Move ahead, even if the path isn't clear. Because on the other side of fear is everything you've been fighting for. Your breakthrough, your purpose, your destiny, all waiting patiently for you to say yes. Yes to courage. Yes to faith. Yes to faith. Yes to becoming the unstoppable force you were always meant to be. True transformation begins when you stop seeking external approval and start honoring your own inner truth. The world will always have opinions about who you should be, what you should do, and how you should live. But these opinions are distractions designed to keep you small, safe, and predictable. Real growth happens when you silence those external voices and tune deeply into the quiet whisper inside, the one that knows your purpose, your worth, and your destiny. That voice is your compass, and following it is the bravest act you can commit to. When you honor your inner truth, you unlock an unshakable confidence that doesn't depend on circumstance or applause. You stop needing others to validate your journey because you've chosen to validate yourself. This is not arrogance, it's self-respect. It's understanding that your value is not determined by how many people see you, but by how well you see yourself. This shift changes everything. It turns anxiety into peace. It turns doubt into certainty. It turns fear into fuel. Suddenly, you are no longer running from yourself. You are running toward your fullest potential. Your inner truth demands authenticity. It refuses compromise. It challenges you to show up fully, even when it feels risky. It asks you to stop hiding behind masks and expectations and to reveal the real you, the flawed, beautiful, powerful you. This vulnerability is not weakness. It is the gateway to deeper connection and greater impact. When you allow yourself to be seen for who you truly are, you invite others to do the same. You create space for genuine relationships rooted in honesty and mutual respect. And that kind of connection nourishes your soul and propels your purpose forward. Authenticity also means embracing your unique path, even if it looks different from everyone else's. There is no blueprint for your life that fits another person's story. Your journey is singular, Your timing is perfect. Your challenges and victories are yours alone. The moment you stop comparing yourself to others, you free yourself from the chains of envy and frustration. You gain clarity on what truly matters. You reclaim your energy to invest in what aligns with your values and vision. This freedom fuels momentum and sustains resilience, no matter what obstacles arise. The world needs what only you can offer: your talents, your voice, your perspective. There is a unique combination that no one else carries. When you stand firmly in your truth, you become a beacon for others searching for light. Your courage inspires, your authenticity attracts, and your purpose creates ripples far beyond what you can see. You are not just here to survive the seasons, you are here to transform them. This transformation begins when you choose to live boldly, honestly, and unapologetically as your true self. So lean into your inner truth today. Let it guide your steps, shape your decisions, and fuel your passion. The moment you do, you step out of the shadows of doubt and into the brilliance of your calling. This is where your power lies, untouched by external noise, unshaken by criticism, and unstoppable in pursuit of what you were made to be. Embrace it fully, because the world is waiting for the greatness only you can bring.